Hey everyone, Carl here with Littleroot Lessons, bringing you a deep dive featuring Shedinja. Shedinja is a super unique Pokemon with some really weird stats and a really unique ability that it's known for. But before we get into all that, make sure to do all that fun YouTube stuff for us. Like, subscribe, comment down below who you want to see me cover next week on some more deep dives. I am fast running out of Pokemon and I need ideas so I can get prepared for our vacation in a couple weeks. So Shedinja. Shedinja is a super unique Pokemon with the fact that it only has a base state HP stat of 1, which means that it only has 1 HP. No matter how much effort you put into it, its HP is always going to be 1. This obviously means that Shedinja struggles in VGC a lot of the time because you need to be able to take hits a lot of the time to do damage. And Shedinja isn't known for its crazy speed, so what actually keeps Shedinja around in these games? The ability Wonder Guard. So Wonder Guard means that super effective hits are the only moves that can hit you. This paired with its kind of cool support move pool makes Shedinja at least a decent threat in these restricted formats, which we can get into when we talk about team building and how to play with it. The big thing that Shedinja does best is a switch-in partner for teams that have some common weakness but aren't shared with Shedinja. Shedinja's history throughout Sword and Shield has kind of been dubbed as just a joke or a meme. You see a lot of these crazy teams with Mimic and Skill Swap and Entrainment and things like that trying to get Wonder Guard on other Pokemon, so Shedinja kind of just is like this tool to make a joke or to kind of make a gimmick happen. However, Shedinja has a real good place in these restricted formats as just a damage soak. A lot of the times, these Pokemon that are pretty powerful restricteds have restricted coverage. Pun intended there. Kyogre only carries water and electric or ice sometimes. Pokemon like Zacian only carry steel and fighting. Xerneas carries only fairy types. Shedinja is a great switch into all of these Pokemon because they just can't hit it. Wonder Guard makes it to where this Pokemon Shedinja is just impervious to most damage. And as long as the format kind of respects this a little bit and Shedinja can keep switching in on safe situations like that, I expect Shedinja's usage to kind of increase and get out of this meme phase that it's been in. Common partners for Shedinja are hard to find, so I was looking through Pikalytics and Architects trying to figure out what to talk about in this segment. Common partners are not very common for Shedinja, just because it's been played a little bit doesn't mean that it's been used on the same team over and over, if that makes sense. Partners ranged all over the place, but one of the big things that they had in common was they never shared a weakness with Shedinja, which is the defining feature of what Shedinja does. It's a switch in for certain hits to keep your Pokemon safe. Things like Kyogre, Alecki, Incineroar, Tornadus, Zacian itself is kind of a good switch in as long as you avoid fire coverage. Things like that. So the recommended partners for this are going to be just Pokemon that don't share a ton of weaknesses. Try to avoid Pokemon with Dark typing weaknesses, Pokemon with Ghost type weaknesses, Pokemon with Rock, Fire, Flying's another one. There's certain types you need to avoid for Shedinja. I wouldn't pair Shedinja with a lot of grass types, kind of a situation like that. Shedinja can't take flying or fire type moves, and grass types are both weak to fire and flying, if that example kind of makes sense for you there. When you look at the metagame breakdown, though, you see that Shedinja's kind of gimmicky move pool fits its weird status as a Pokemon. You see moves like Will-O-Wisp, Ally Switch, Protect, Shadow Sneak. These are probably the most common moves, and you'll see these most of the time. You can also play more damaging roles with Shedinja. It does have a decent attack stat, if I remember correctly. And X-Scissor, Poltergeist, Shadow Claw, and Skitter Smack all offer great damage while doing some kind of utility or niche thing for Shedinja. As for items, Focus Sash is probably the most common, basically because it doubles your 1 HP stat to 2. Being able to take a second hit, or essentially to help you further your game plan, is really, really important. It also kind of gives you that safety net of oops, I accidentally switched in, my opponent read correctly that I was switching this in, so my Shedinja's still around, so I can easily switch it back out and kind of play around with it now. When you're building with Shedinja, like I mentioned earlier, don't double up on weaknesses. Try to avoid double dark, double ghost, double flying, fire, rock, all that kind of stuff. This essentially makes it hard for Shedinja to do its job because it takes a lot of the onus off of your opponent. What I mean by that is your opponent has to respect Shedinja every turn, now if it knows it's there, and if you have a double rock weakness, your opponent can just click Rock Slide and they don't care, because they know that Shedinja's hiding somewhere and Shedinja has to come out eventually. Whereas if you had like a double water weakness, you could easily switch out one of those Pokemon for Shedinja, and Shedinja just takes that water attack all day long. Shedinja also has a lot of use when your opponents aren't prepared for it, which, commonly enough, is a good chunk of the time. Shedinja isn't super duper common, so you usually can do the gotcha moments of switching into Shedinja, using Ally Switch, getting off some damage, whittling your opponent's team down to where their one Pokemon remaining can't deal with Shedinja, so Shedinja gets to win that endgame, and so on and so forth. When you're looking to build Shedinja's movesets, it's very standard. You do max attack, max speed. You don't even use the 4 other EVs that you have access to because none of those other stats matter. The biggest nuances when you're building Shedinja, though, come to your move selection. I know players are up in arms about Ally Switch in certain situations. It's kind of calmed down since the days of Chansey Shuckle, but my position has always been it's in the game, it's available for use. Make sure to use it and utilize it the best you can. Abuse the heck out of it if you want to. It's just one of the many things that make Sword and Shield Sword and Shield. It causes great and many headache for your opponents trying to figure out, does he click Ally Switch? Does he not click Ally Switch? And things like that. We just watched Cybertron over-analyze the game expecting Ally Switch on a Shedinja. I think this was about 2 weeks ago now. He over-analyzed the Shedinja expecting Ally Switch and played around it every time, just to come to find out later on that the Ally Switch was never even an issue to begin with. When you're looking to beat up Shedinja, the obvious answer is just obvious. Find some kind of super effective hit to beat it up with. If your team has at least 2 or 3 coverage moves that hit Shedinja, you're always going to be in a real good spot. It's hard for your opponent to take out all your Pokemon on your team and to make Shedinja take out all the Pokemon on your team if Shedinja has to worry about a coverage move around every corner. Shedinja also carries Focus Sash. Again, make sure you have to hit it twice, which can be hard to do, especially in the face of Ally Switch and without spread moves. Speaking of spread moves, they play really well. A lot of the common spread moves you see nowadays just happen to be really good into Shedinja. Rock Slide, Heat Wave, and things like that are really, really powerful. Also Weather. Weather's just like Sand and Hail are also just really good into Shedinja. So if you're playing Tyranitar, good job. You already have beaten every Shedinja in the format. So to wrap up with Shedinja here, Shedinja's super unique Wonder Guard ability makes it so that it can be the perfect switch-in on most teams. I wouldn't slap Shedinja into Santi's Kyogre team anytime soon, but on other teams that kind of where Shedinja can fit in, it'd probably be a good fit. Its support pool of moves can cause issues for opponents that aren't prepared, so make sure to abuse those when you can find them. Like I mentioned earlier, Ally Switch, I'm just like, if you have access to it, play it. If you don't have access to it, don't worry about it. And overall, just never underestimate the power of Shedinja. It's been relegated to just this memedom for quite a while, and it's nice to see that Shedinja has kind of came back into the Sword and Shield format as a contender of sorts. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for listening to me ramble about Shedinja today. Make sure to check us out on Twitter. Handles are there on screen. Check the Discord link out in the description below. Our community is great. And remember to do all that YouTube stuff for us. Subscribe, comment, like, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, we will see you all next week with some more deep dives. Bye, everyone.